The one positive that all Chicago Bears fans need to look at is that the Chicago Bears are in for one heck of an offseason with 3 picks in the top 40, 82 million plus in cap, and a new set of coaches coming in to help this young roster. They got even more news with Albert Breer saying on ESPN Chicago Tuesday afternoon that he is hearing that Mike Vrabel is the top guy for the Chicago Bears list at the moment. What's more exciting about it, though, is that he's linked to 2 proven offensive coordinators that can come in and help Chicago with their offense. I'm here to break down Josh McDaniels and Tommy Rees for you guys today, if Vrabel is hired, and what they'll do as his offensive coordinator, depending on who he selects. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody, and as always, thank you for tuning in. Now, before I begin today's show, hit that like button if you're ready for the Bears offseason to begin, along with commenting who you'd want the next offensive coordinator of the Chicago Bears to be. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to stay up to date on all Chicago Bears news and notifications. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel and comment on it. You automatically enter to win a Chicago Bears jersey of your choice when it will be announced this Sunday after the Lions game. So let's go into the rumors that Albert Breer dropped on ESPN Chicago on Tuesday. So he shared his thoughts of the Bears' meltdown this season, but also what he's been hearing from inside of Halas Hall, and that this team needs an alpha head coach. And he thinks that Mike Vrabel, also from his insider sources at Halas Hall, is the number one choice for the Chicago Bears this upcoming offseason to be their next head coach. We've gone through him before, but Vrabel is the alpha leader that could bring a great resume to the table. 6 seasons in the NFL, a 54-45 record in the regular season, 2-3 in the playoffs with 1 trip to the AFC Championship, 4-time 9+ win season, and 2-time divisional champ. He's a defensive-minded guy, which we've been hearing from Adam Schefter that the Bears are going to go with an offensive-minded guy. As he spent 13 years in the NFL as an offensive outside linebacker with 3 Super Bowls, 1 Pro Bowl, and 1 All-Pro, and 5th in Defensive Player of the Year, voting in 2006. A solid guy, but also is proven to bring in top offensive minds, like when he brought in Arthur Smith to the Tennessee Titans, make Ryan Tannehill look like an MVP quarterback. And then the thing is about Vrabel is that he's linked to 2 offensive coordinators that could come in also with great resumes. Josh McDaniels, former head coach and offensive coordinator, which he was connected to him while he was a player at the New England Patriots. And then Tommy Rees, former offensive coordinator of Alabama and current Browns pass game specialist. I'm going to break down both of the guys and what they bring to the table and why Vrabel is a great head coach. But on top of it, these guys are the offensive coordinators that would still help this Bears team go to the next level. So let's start with Josh McDaniels, who has coached in the NFL for 18 total seasons, being a head coach and an offensive coordinator during that time and leading some of the top offenses over the last 2 decades. I wouldn't mind this guy being the next offensive coordinator. And in my opinion, I don't see him getting offered another head coach job anytime soon because of how bad he was as a head coach. But some guys, like I've told you guys before, are meant to be coordinators, and Josh McDaniels is one of those guys. During his 18-year career as a coach in the NFL, 13 of them being with the New England Patriots, 2 of them as the Broncos head coach, 2 of them as the Raiders head coach, and 1 as the Rams offensive coordinator. His time with the Patriots as their offensive coordinator, insanely impressive. 3-time Super Bowl champion in 2015, 2017, and 2019, along with number 1 in yardage offense 3 times during that span, along with being top 10 in yards offense 8 times during that span, top 7 in scoring offense 11 times during that time, and top 10 in offensive passing 9 times in his 13 years with the Patriots. Yes, he had Tom Brady during that time period, but also he had an offense that worked for 13 seasons, leaving 2 years at one point to go elsewhere and come back, and still coming back and dominating, owning the respect of the locker room, especially Tom Brady, and on top of it, the rest of the offensive weapons that were there week in and week out. But he also developed other quarterbacks, Matt Castle, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jacoby Brissett, and Tom Brady to a degree as well. Overall, a great offensive coordinator, making the Patriots have one of the best offensive stretches ever in NFL history. And his time as a head coach, this is why he truly is a coordinator. And I don't think he'd be going anywhere, because his time with a head coach makes teams not want to hire him as a head coach. But if he stays with the Bears offensive coordinator, he could be a coordinator for a very long time. He did have a top 10 offense twice in his 4 years as a head coach, but he was never given anywhere long enough to build a team like he wanted to. And I give him a defense too. I give him a little bit of defense as the Broncos head coach. They really just didn't give him a chance. It was a disaster of the team. He walked into a very old ball club. He ended up drafting a ton of people like Jay Cutler, Brandon Marshall, a ton of other guys like that ended up being pretty solid offensive guys in the NFL. Both worked out for the Bears. But at the same time, never had a winning record as a head coach. And Josh McDaniels, I don't mind him becoming the Bears offensive coordinator because of the bad record as a head coach. He's going to have longevity as an offensive coordinator. No one's going to come calling for him unless they offer him head coach money to go elsewhere. But he's going to want to work with Caleb Williams. He also has a tough mentality. He brings back that tough guy football, that alpha offensive mentality, and not just kind of today's NFL. You know, Mike Vrabel, too, will be able to lead the defense, but also have his way with the offense as well if they're struggling. And I think it'd be huge to have an experienced offensive coordinator in Josh McDaniels as well, especially from an NFL standpoint. I really think that he'd be a solid addition to this Bears roster and overall coaching staff. And maybe, just maybe, this could be the move for the Bears. Now, before I get into the second coordinator of today, I would like to thank today's sponsor, OGAM, which isn't just another betting app. It's turning the entire system into your favor. Here's how it works. OGAM uses a strategy called arbitrage, finding odds against all 275 sports books. You bet on both ends, and no matter the outcome, you will profit. Here's an example. You put $500 on the Bears to win on FanDuel and $335 on the Lions to win in DraftKings. You're guaranteed to make $50 no matter what. It's that simple. And with OGAM's mobile app, you get real-time alerts and notifications of opportunities every single day. People are making thousands of dollars monthly, and you can get started by using code JAYCHI to get 35% off your whether monthly or annual subscription, and you get a 7-day free trial. Again, go to the link in the description now and use code JAYCHI Bears. Now let's go into the second option, which is Tommy Rees. Some of you may remember him as being Notre Dame's head coach or quarterback from 2010 to 2013. He has been a very solid offensive coordinator since leaving Notre Dame and went into his coaching career right away. Well, during his time at Notre Dame, he was pretty impressive too. Led them to 4 bowl appearances, nearly 8,000 yards passing and 61 passing touchdowns in 4 seasons with the Irish. But once his career in college was over, he became an offensive coordinator. And his most recent big gig was Alabama's offensive coordinator in 2023, where he dominated with an Alabama offense. They averaged 34 points per game, 4th in the SEC in 2023. And in the final 5 games of the season, Alabama averaged 42.2 points per game. So we got things going at the right time. And that helped Alabama defeat Georgia in the SEC championship 27-24. A lot of people looked at him and said he was the big reason why, which is also why he was a semifinalist for the Broyles Award, which is given to the top offensive coordinators in the SEC that year. Rees did leave an effective overall offense, though, which I find impressive, as they were 38 for 40 in the red zone in 2023, a 95% efficiency rate. But overall, a solid coach, but at the college level. He is currently the Browns' tight end and pass game coordinator, which Cleveland has had a lot of ups and downs this year, especially from a passing perspective. But he's been linked to Vrabel because Vrabel is currently a consultant for the Cleveland Browns, clearly seeing something that he really likes in Rees, and it could be that fresh offensive coordinator start that he wants to bring in. And Mike Vrabel, knowing what it takes to be a good offensive coordinator in this league, that says a lot of volume. So something to keep in mind. But I still definitely am leaning more to Josh McDaniels. And why I'm leaning to McDaniels, I think I've said it enough times before. Experience, tough head offensive coordinator mentality, proven success, can bring in other guys that were on those Patriots offenses as consultants or to come in during training camp and help train those guys. He has a whole network of connections that can come in and help this young Bears offense get on the right step. But also, Josh McDaniels knows what it takes to have a good offensive line. He'll definitely be in Vrabel's ear saying, this is the type of player that we need. This is what's going to be successful, and this is what we also need. Not only that, too, Josh McDaniels will come with a great assisting staff, and on top of it, get an offensive line coach that isn't named Chris Morgan that'll hopefully do good things for this team. So a lot of big factors there, but Josh McDaniels is my choice. But if we go with Rees, I'd be interested to see what happens. But bear down, baby. As always, thank you for tuning into this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Along with, please like this video if you haven't already and subscribe to the channel. We're so close to 22,000 before the end of the year. Let's get it done. But with that, thank you as always for tuning in, and bear down, baby.